your videos first, and your audios, please put them on mute. While we just do a short introduction, and then we'll ask you once again to turn it on when we go to the press conference part of the event. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for the special reveal of Gaga Ulala's new series called Happenstance. I'm the director of the series. My name is Adolfo Alex Jr. And we would like to thank all of you for tuning in live for tonight's reveal. Um, in the last few weeks, we started revealing some of our cast. We would just like to introduce them once again. The ensemble cast of Happenstance. We have for tonight. We'll just run through some of the supporting cast and the ensemble cast that we revealed in the last few days. Uh, we have Xavier Ramos. We have Shu Kaleha. We have Ken Anderson also as part of the cast. And then we have Erlinda Villalobos. And we also have Alan Paule as one of our cast members. Rosana Roses is also part of our cast. And Mr. Bembol Rocco. And before we reveal the lead actors, we would like for you to hear for the first time the theme song of our series Happenstance, which will be performed by Mikoy Morales. It's an original composition. It's called Atin Lang, or in English, it's Between Us. So I think Mikoy is now online. Hi, Mikoy.
Hi. Hi, Direk. Hi, guys. Evening.
For composing the song for our series. And again, Mikoy will also be the one doing the score for the entire run of the series. Working together before also on some of my for Unlock, which also aired in Gaga Ulala. So without much introduction, Mikoy will sing the song for us tonight.
Game Direk. Okay. Sound check. Okay. Okay. Game. Kung alam lang nila kung anong halaga ng ating ginawang mundo. Bakit pa iniisip ko? Hindi na kailangan pangalanan. Hindi na kailangan
Thank you, Mikoy.
Thank you.
Mikoy will stay with us for some if you have questions for him later. But now we'll go to reveal part. When we were doing Happenstance, we decided to do some special auditions for the role, and also we casted some of the actors. But for the lead, it's a mix of some of that we got from the special auditions and some that we had pre-casted in some of our previous episodes or people that I have worked with. So now, for the role of the leads, we chose these two very young actors. The other actor has been has made some independent films already, but the other one, I think it's his first time to do. An acting part, whether he hasn't done anything yet, so this is his first time to be part of a drama series. So I would like to call the two of them. The first one, I think he has been part of some independent films before, like I think Mamu and Jolly Warriors. Here's Giovanni Manansala. Hi, Giovanni. Join us.
Evening po.
So Giovanni will play one of the roles. He's going to play the character Jose Manuel. And then for the other one, who's going to play Wade, here's Kiko Ipapo. Kiko.
Ito po.
So
Everyone.
so they will be the two actors who will play the leads for Happenstance. So now we will open the floor. So you may open your cameras and your audio for the press people who are here. We would like to thank everyone. We have a mix of Filipino and foreign press from different parts of the world. We'd like to thank you for joining us tonight for the reveal. So we will start with if you have some of your questions for the actors. But just to give you an overview, Happenstance is about two people who met from two different timelines. One lives in 1974, and the other one lives in the present time. So I was inspired because I read an article that was published online about this woman who found letters in the ceiling of her house while cleaning during the pandemic. And when she read the letters were letters of love of a man to someone. So when she read the letters, she was inspired to look for that person who actually wrote the letters. So when the quarantine was lifted, she went out of her way to look for that person. So I was inspired by that, and Jerry Gracio helped me write the material. So that's how the story for Happenstance came about. So now if you have questions, sige po.
Direct, hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. I'm Tessa from the Manila Times. Direct, of your knowledge, is this probably the first boys love series that will deal with a period theme?
I'm not quite sure po of the others, but if I may, yes, I think it's one of the few BL series that would actually deal with a period theme, and I think it would be also interesting because that's during the time of Marcos, and now and then during the time of President Duterte. So I think it would be an interesting take on those time
Well,
zones.
so it happens with that as the backdrop of their story, of the two boys story, the political climate. But could you tell us, in the story and obviously from your research, how open or how not open was society at the time, to same sex relationships, and was it even more difficult for people in love at that time to really come out?
I think it was a struggle during that time because before doing Happenstance, Jerry Grash and I also did a film before called Muli, which also tracked down the relationship between two individuals from a very long time period. But I think during that time, I think it was also a struggle because Jerry, who lived through that time, also was telling me his personal stories about coming out during that time. So there was also a struggle because that time was also quite difficult. So I think it would also be interesting to discuss that within the series.
Okay, Direct. Thank you. So, in other words, the theme of this series, what would you say are the top themes that this series will carry?
I think one, it's connection first and foremost because it's about two persons living two different time zones but actually connected magically because we researched that in 1974 and in the previous months before the quarantine there was a super moon. So we just decided to include that particular magical moment where the portals may have opened because during in those two time zones there was a super moon. So that opened up for those two people to actually meet. So I think it's all about chance and love, of course, being a BL series. So it will also deal about love.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and congratulations, boys, for this great role and opportunity.
Direct.
Hi, Sir Jerry. Kitang gabi.
Yes, magandang gabi. Direct, aware ka naman dun sa South Korean film na Ilmare na ginawa sa Hollywood na The Lake House? Tapos dito
Yes.
sa atin, Moments of Love.
Yes po.
Oo. Na parang ganyan ang inspiration ng kumbaga nung basic na yung may dalawang timeline.
Opo, napanood ko po yun. Opo, alam ko po yun. Kaya nga, siyempre we see to it na meron ding difference kung paano i-deal yung sitwasyon. Because of course, sikat naman po pelikula yung...
Yes. Kaya bang itong Halloween din itong cast reveal dahil nga may mga pa-portal, may supernatural. Talagang itinaon mo ba?
Opo, nataon. No, kasi the people at Gaga Ulala po, now they're celebrating Taiwan Pride. They have
Ah,
celebration now po in Taiwan. There's a huge march and a lot of celebration. So they want lang po to time it in such a way na habang nagse-celebrate po sila nung Taiwan Pride, they also open up this series to launch this series po by revealing the cast. So and also yun nga because there's alam niyo naman sa Chinese importante rin yung moon. So siguro na kaya they decided to launch it tonight because yesterday yata may supermoon or even up until tonight.
I see. So, 6 episodes ito direct, di ba?
Before po kami nag-end, supposed to be Kuya Jerry 6, but luckily sa Diyos na-extend kami while we were filming. So now it's 9 episodes.
Ilan? 9
episodes. 9
wow.
po,
Siyempre, this would be compared with your previous anthology on Gaga Ulala, yung Unlock.
Opo.
Anong kumbaga masasabi mong kaibahan ng dalawa sa pagkakapareho kung meron man?
Kuya Jerry, magkaiba siya siguro because Unlock is per episode. So we were able to deal with different stories po. Di ba? From different types of relationship in the quarantine. Pero ngayon siguro medyo nakafocus po siya sa love story na of the two people and also yung relationships nila with their families during these specific times. So yun po siguro yung pagkakaiba. So medyo mas lighter po siya siguro. But at the same time, it would also deal with certain realities ng period.
Kasi si Jerry Gracio talagang kumbaga kilala natin na very vocal sa kanyang paniniwala sa politika, talaga inihahayag niya. Iba. Pero sabi mo light lang naman ito. Ito kumbaga na
Kuya Jerry, kasama naman yon. Kasi nga dahil yung period, kaya nga nung na-approve po itong material na to, tinawagan ko si Jerry. Kasi alam ko na dahil nga nagkatrabaho po kami sa muli, syempre yung sensibilidad kailangan magsulat na pamilyar doon sa milieu. Syempre dahil hindi pa po ako masyadong malaki ng mga panahon na yon. Medyo bata pa po ako. So sabi ko kay Jerry kung kung open siya to doing it. So na-excite naman po si Jerry. So kaya yun. So magkahalo po siya. Magkasama po syempre yung love story tsaka yung realidad din ng mga panahon na yun.
I see. Direct, kumusta itong dalawang bagong aktor mo? Itong kumbaga as leads, sila kumusta? Kasi yung suporta naman nila ang gagaling eh. Kumusta sila? Sila yung kumbaga mga baguhan.
Si Giovanni naman po naka-work ko na dati. I did an episode po for Signal na i-airing pa rin po siguro later this year. Nag-workshop din po kami bago. We were just very lucky. Si Angeli Bayani po kasi helped us in handling our workshop. So we did an online workshop kasi nung time na na-approve po ito, medyo strict pa yung quarantine. So online po yung acting workshops. Sa lahat dun muna po kami nag-delve in para makita namin. Siyempre dahil pag love story po, Kuya Jerry, di ba? Importante. It's important that you build the chemistry. Especially because they don't have, in the earlier part of the series, they only meet by mirror, through the mirror. In the evening because that's the time when the supermoon opens up so that's the only time that they meet. So it's crucial for them to build that chemistry. So we had workshops. And then during our shoot, of course, at the onset, syempre medyo, Kiko po kasi it's his first time to really act. He has no acting experience whatsoever before this. He was just doing some modeling jobs on the side. But when he auditioned for us, I was impressed by how he performed. Because we took a piece from Muli. Sabi ko kay Jerry, we borrowed some parts of the script from Muli for them to read. So I think yung mas mahirap po siguro si Kiko because it's his first time to act. So he was relatively grappling with certain realities of filmmaking kasi nga hindi siya sanay. So but masaya naman po yung shoot namin because and slowly he was able to learn because yun nga malaking tulong that there were very good actors who were supportive of them, si Miss Osang, si Sir Alan, Tito Bembol, si Angeli. Malaking tulong po for them. And I was also I was just also telling them that since it's a love story, so we need to focus on the chemistry. Pwede niyo po, sila na po siguro rin pwedeng sumagot.
Yes, humingi lang ako mga background silang dalawa. Kiko, kumusta na nga itong first time mo? Na kumbaga na, na ito, umakting ka.
Sobrang challenging tsaka nakakakaba nung siyempre po first time. And yun po, kailangan ng lakas ng loob. Then nung na-experience ko po yun, so ang nangyari po, una medyo nahirapan, then naalalayan naman po ako sa set ng actors and ni direct adult. So for me, sobrang enjoy po. Tapos mas marami po akong discover tsaka na-develop na acting skills din. So parang yun po, lalo pong naging okay yung acting ko.
Giovanni, anong aabangan namin sa inyong dalawa rito? Kumbaga talagang, siyempre.
Actually, madami po yung aabangan. May mga intense din po na eksena dito sa series namin. Mas surprise namin kahit magustuhan niyo yung mga pinakita namin. Ginawa naman po namin yung best namin dito sa project nito. Dahil nagtiwala po sa amin si Director Adol para sa project na to. So, ayun po. Nasaya naman po siya sa pinakita namin. So, proud kami para doon po. Ayun po.
Okay, thank you. Yung iba naman na magtatanong.
Thank you kay Jerry.
Thank you po.
Ano magtanong?
Go po.
Go lang po.
Sir Alwin, sige po.
Hello. Doon sa dalawang leads, gusto ko lang malaman, anong first impression nyo sa isa't isa?
Actually, nag-uusap po kami unang-una sa online lang. So, hindi pa kami masyadong nagkasundo doon dahil yung connection din, naglolok internet connection. Pero nung first meetup po namin, nag-bonding po kami ng gusto habang hindi pa po nag-start yung shoot para on the set, maka-build na po kami ng chemistry. Saka, isa po kami ng room na pinagstayan. So, mas nakapag-kwentuhan po kami, mas nakilala po namin yung isa't isa. Yan po. Kaya okay naman po na kinalabasan.
Oh. Nakamute po, sir.
Ayan, Sir Alwin, nakamute ka po ata. Ayan. Okay na po.
Anong na-discover nyo sa isa't isa na hindi nyo pa alam nung nasa loob na kayo ng kwarto?
Sa akin po, nung po kasi first po siya nakita is yun nga po online workshop ng 2 araw. And then, yun nga po nagloloko pa. Then, akala ko po sobrang tahimik niya. Tsaka, ayan po, yun yung na-discover ko po sa kanya na marami po siyang nasi-share na experience na doon din po nakakuha po ako ng learnings doon sa mga kinukwento niya po. At inabot po kami ng madaling araw, kakakwentuhan. Kahit may shoot po kinabukasan. Pero pagka nag-shoot na po, yun po sobrang saya, enjoy. Kasi yun nga, at the first day po, sobrang comfortable na din po agad. Pero nung ako po, since na first time ko, akala ko po medyo parang kakaiba yung galawan or medyo may ilang ako. Pero nung nakausap ko po siya, yun nga, sobrang po okay po.
Halos same po kasi kami ng ugali, lalo na pagdating sa personal na buhay, papagmahal sa pamilya, sa magulang. Kaya nagkakasundo po kami, parehas din po kami ng mga na-experience sa buhay. Ayun po. Kaya,
Sino yung nasa 1974? Sino yung nasa present time?
ako po yung nasa past, siya po yung nasa
Okay.
Ako po si
Okay.
Jose. Si Wayne po.
Another last question ko. Since dapat magmamahalan kayo dito sa BL series na ito, as your characters, what is lovable about the other person and vice versa? As your characters, ano ang kaibig-ibig sa kapartner mo?
Sa akin po,
Ako po muna. Sa akin po para kay Kiko, na-appreciate ko po siya. Para kay Wade po, na-appreciate ko po yung buong pagkatao niya sa pakikitungo niya sa akin. Ngayon po na ang bilis ko siya nakakasundo. Pares kami mga kinahiligan sa buhay. Ayun po. So, parang ang bilis po mag-build ng relationship namin as co-actor or as as friends po yun. So,
Sa akin po, as a my character Wade, ang lovable po kay Jose Manuel, yung nakita ko po dun is yung eagerness niya mahanap si ano doon, si kanyang
si Luis.
iniibig or kasamahan. And then doon po na-develop na nag-uusap kami doon sa sa series. And then yung pinaglaban niya yung love namin doon sa series. Yun yung lovable doon sa may paninindigan si Jose Manuel. Yun po.
Okay, super last question. May kissing scene kayo?
Secret.
Or kissing scene? Secret!
Ikaw lang po sabihin, abangan niyo po yun, panoorin niyo po para malaman niyo po kung may kissing scene o wala.
Pero as new actors, how did you guys prepare for a kissing scene? Meron man o what?
As new actor po.
How did you prepare for a kissing scene? Meron man o wala?
Sige,
Ako po kasi actually nakapag-prepare na po ako dati pa dahil nag-workshop na rin po ako sa Star Magic Workshop, acting po. So, kung ano mo po ibigay na role sa akin, basta kakayanin ko po, gagawin ko po para sa passion ko sa pag-acting.
Okay.
Sa akin po, since na yun po, first timer, and binigyan ako ng blessing na yun yung role ko, sabi ko, yung preparation ko, kung ano yung kaya ko, as an actor, kailangan ko siyang kayanin. Kahit hindi ko pa siya nagagawa before. So, yun, nilakasan ko yung loob ko, and since na professional din naman yung mga kasama ko, walang mali siya, walang it's all about yung love nga po ni Wade kay Jose Manuel. Kung yun po yung preparation na ginawa ko by character po.
Okay. So last na talaga to. Sa totoong buhay ba, nakahalik na kayo ng lalaki?
Wala po.
Okay. Thank you guys!
Thank you, Sir Ali.
Hello.
Po. Yes po.
Hello. Nasaan po?
Sige lang po.
Opo, tanong ko, ano po yung similarity ng character nila sa mismong ugali nila? Yung character na pinoportray nila.
No, wala.
Kayo po.
Sa totoong buhay, yung similarities daw ng characters niya sa totoong buhay.
Sa akin po, yung similarity po, yung pagiging seryoso sa love. Yun po yun sa akin. I mean, sobrang similar nung ko. Kasi ako po, sa personal, tsaka yung character po, halos yun nga po, seryoso ko sa love na pagka, once na parang naloko ka, yan, mga ganyan. Siguro kahit sino naman, sobrang wasak. Ayan, sa mga kabataan at saka sa mga nakakaranas ng seryoso tapos pag niloko, yun. Yung serious love ba na sinasabi nila.
Sa akin po, para sa akin po, kaparehas ko po yung character ko sa, yun po, pagdating sa pagmamahal po, parang naninindigan ako, pinaglalabang ko, binibigay ko lahat para mapasaya yung taong mahal ko. I mean, parang gagawin ko lahat para sa kanya. Yun po.
Sana lang po. Ano yung lesson learned na natutunan niyo kay Derek?
Sige.
Sa akin po, natutunan ko na lesson kay Derek is mahalin mo lang yung trabaho mo, i-enjoy mo, mag-aaral ka lang mag-aaral, huwag kang maging kampante sa mga pinapakita mo, dapat mas galingan mo, habang tumatagal, mas galingan mo. Ayun po, tapos mahalin mo yung mga co-actors mo, ituring mo lahat ng pamilya, pati mga crew, sa production po, ayun po lahat. Kasi ganun po yung pinapakita sa amin pinapakita po namin sa sarili namin.
So, sa akin po, lesson learned ko po, sobrang dami po. Sobrang dami po na, yun nga po, enjoy mo yung work mo. Pag minahal mo yung work mo, parang hindi ka nagtatrabaho. Parang ang kasama mo is yung family mo. And then about sa mga acting po, sobrang dami rin po in a way na parang hindi siya nagtuturo. Para siyang sobrang lapit na tao sa'yo or family member mo na nagkukwento lang sa'yo. And then may realize mo na ginagawa mo na pala siya. So yun po yung mga natutunan ko kay Derek. And then sa mga sa iba din po sa loob ng set, sobrang sobrang ano po, komportable po, tsaka sobrang welcome. Na hindi ka mahihiya umacting or maiilang. Talagang maano siya, enjoy mo siya kasi yun sila sobrang tanggap ka nila, sobrang todo suporta sila sa iyo. So yun po yung mga natutunan ko na go lang, wala ka namang ginagawang masama, wag ka mahihiya, gawin mo yung best mo kasi pag ginawa mo yung best mo kahit magkamali ka, okay lang yun. Kaya para may matutunan ka pang bagong or ma-discover na skill. Ayan.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Hi.
Hello po.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes po.
Oo. For the two leads, no, Kiko and Giovanni, for the of the media, our media friends here tonight, can you tell us briefly about yourself na anong ginagawa niyo before you became actors, before you audition, before you got the role? How old are you? A little backgrounder kasi mga baguhan kayo para mas makilala pa kayo ng mga media friends natin. Thank you.
So, ako po muna. My name is Kiko Ipapo, 21 years old. Galing po ako seminary before po ng lahat. So, yun, aminin ko na po. Before po, 6 months po ako sa seminary. It's a Christian seminary. So, yun po.
Ako nga po pala si Giovanni Manansala, 23 years old. Bago po ako napasok sa pagiging actor, una po, sumasali po muna ako sa mga pageants sa school. Ayun, dahil yung brother ko po kasi may hilig siya sa mga pageant, model, si Joaquin Manansala po. So, idol ko siya. So, lahat ng ginagawa niya, ginagaya ko po para po parehas kami. Kasi magkasundo, parang best friend ko po siya. So, ayun, hanggang sa ma-discover po ako sa mga auditions, hanggang makahanap ako ng agency, yun, pinag-try po ako ng workshop. Yun, hanggang sa papamahal na po sa akin yung passion ng pag-acting. Ayun po, so yun, hanggang magiging tuloy-tuloy na po, mabigyan na po ng mga projects. Ayun po. 23 years old pa po.
23.
Ayun po.
Pareho kayong single? May phone-in question kung pareho kayong single. Kasi si Kiko, napansin ng ilang media friends, meron kang suot-suot na sing-sing sa...
Yes po.
Oo. Are you taken, married, or...
Soon to be married. Meron din po akong daughter. Isa. Yeah.
Ako po, single po. Single
Thank
po.
you.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Direk Adolf, merong mga nahihiyang magtanong.
Sige po, ikaw.
Oo. Nakalagay from G. Trilliano of Malaya Business Insight, the entertainment editor, to Direk Adolf, what do you want the audience to take away from the series?
Hirap naman ang tanong. Hindi, joke.
you.
I think po, yun nga, because siguro because of there's a lot of BL content ngayon, siguro we just wanted to tell a story that's very different. It's still a love story, but we also wanted to say that certain things happen that we cannot explain. Like love, diba? It's just a feeling that you just feel at the moment or with another person and you cannot explain why. So I think yun din po yung gusto namin for the series, that since it's a little magical because of the circumstances on how the two characters meet, but generally love is love, so it knows no gender, and it's also it transcends time. Kaya nga po we just quoted dun sa mga publicity materials na nirelease namin yung galing kay Bram Stoker sa Dracula, na parang I have crossed oceans of time to be with you, because these two characters are in different time zones, but because of love they tried to be together.
There's another question here. It's almost similar, Adolf, no? But that one, it came from Miles of Cycle Milk, no? Is there any special reason why you decided to join the current trend of BL series?
I've been directing naman po since 2006, and I've did LGBTQ films before. And the last film I did na medyo LGBTQ was 4 Days. It's also a rom-com, I think. So when Gaga Ulala, because of the success of Unlocked, asked me if I can, pitch another project for them, I realized na yun nga, to entertain another type of story that also belongs to the BL genre. And sabi ko nga, what if I try something that's quite different? So when I came upon that news article, that struck me, and I said, and I pitched the material to them. So that's where it came from. It's not actually to join the bandwagon, but it's actually because of the story. Kasi nga, I've been doing din naman LGBT material from before already. But yun nga, since Gaga Ulala is an LGBTQ plus streaming platform, I think it's an impetus that you start your concept with, of course, with LGBTQ characters.
Thank you. A follow-up from Tessa Mauricio Oriola,
Yes.
our friend from the Minute Times. Direct Adolf, what does it mean for you to be able to direct a BL series at this time and at this point in your celebrated career?
Hindi naman po celebrated. I think, Ricky, ever since I was starting, I always, siguro because I was a writer before I started doing films, I always I always look forward to stories that I can tell. And if I respond to the type of story, hindi naman ako, if I like the story and I like the working environment of people I will work with, be it new actors or very good actors that I've worked with in the past, I always take the chance. And especially now, because it's quite challenging to stage kahit hindi BL series siguro, anything in production because of the pandemic. When we did Unlock before, we were shooting only using cell phones, and we adapted that type of production up until for Happenstance. We only have a crew of 8 people. So it's just like going back to your roots when I was still doing my independent film. It's like, with your shooting family. So yun siguro, more than doing a BL series, it's also helping people out during the pandemic to, of course, to get work and to also at the same time to continue telling stories. So yun po.
May mga related questions one is from Marina. From Marina and Joy of Boys Love Brazil. What was the most difficult scene or sequence to film? And somehow related is a question from Ed of BL Update. Para sa mga boys, ano ang pinaka-challenging na scene para sa inyo nang nahirapan kayo, and paano nyo na itawid yung eksenang yon?
I think, Ricky, yung scenes nila that they see each other at midnight, because it's always by the mirror, and it always is hindi naman necessarily in one place. So sometimes by the window, sometimes by an actual mirror, sometimes by a reflection on something that has a mirror in it. So as a director, medyo mahirap siya i-shoot because you have to the reflection and yung multiple setups, given that I'm also the person holding the camera, the iPhone, and shooting it. So that was the challenge, to be able to differentiate each of the times, and also to be able to watch how their emotions are growing and their fondness for each other. So I think every time na we shoot a scene that involves the two of them by the mirror is quite difficult for me, because not only by mounting it, but also yung emotions required to do it. kayo?
Ayun po, para sa akin, ganoon din po kasi ang hirap pong mag-eksena pag hindi mo katapat yung ka-eksena mo pag nakatingin ka lang sa isang bagay like yung salamin po. Ayun po, ang hirap mag-release ng emosyon. Lalo pag hindi niyo nakikita yung binabatuan niyo ng linya. Yun po, so pinapagana ko lang po yung imagination ko para sa sarili ko. Ayun po, nag-work naman po. Natuwa naman po si Derek. Ayun po, parang nagmo-monologue ka po. Parang karamihan sa ginagawa namin, parang nagmo-monologue. Kasi hindi po siya pwedeng kunan ng sabay. Dahil sa mirror lang po kami nag-uusap. Ayun po.
Sa akin po yung mga scene na may mga heavy drama. Hindi po kasi siya pwedeng i-shot ng isang shot lang since na phone yung gamit. Maraming angles yung kailangan. So kailangan umiyak ng paulit-ulit at itaas yung level of emotion. So as a beginner po kasi medyo nakakaano siya, drain. Sa una mga ilang try pwede. Yung ibang yung pang 5, pang-4 parang wala na siyang lumalabas na luha or parang yun medyo na sa pakiramdam, parang saan mo na ihuhugot yung pain na yun. So sa sa awa naman ng nairaos dahil talagang dinamdam ko yung character ni Wade. Talagang inugutan ko ng isang malalim na hugot sa personal ko din na buhay na nakaka-relate ako. And then yung pangalawa po yung mga outside shots din kasi since na hindi natin makontrol yung weather, medyo nahirapan din po kami doon. So yun din po na-arouse naman nung mga pinagbigyan kami ng ilang araw na okay yung weather natin. Yun po.
Thank you. Now we will have a question from Bobby Requintina, the new entertainment editor of Manila Bulletin. Pasok, Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Naka-mute po kayo, sir.
Bobby? Kung wala pa si Bobby, si Alan Sancon. Alan, are you ready to ask your question?
Hello, Direk. Adaw.
Hi po. Sorry po.
Kasi yung gagaulala sa mga intense scenes like bed scenes, kissing scenes, how intense yung yung kanilang intimate scene dito sa BL series na to?
Siguro po kasi yun nga because yung Unlocked medyo syempre iba rin po yung it's also a different animal from Happenstance, but of course they have some intense scenes which you will see in the coming days when we release the episodes. Syempre po iba-iba yung degrees ng intensity. It's also physical and sometimes sabi nga po ni Kiko kanina, it was also very emotional. So it's a mix of something that's physical and also something that's quite emotional because they cannot be together because they cannot be physically like what we felt during the quarantine. We cannot be physically together with some people that we love because magkaiba sila ng time zone. So when they meet, that's actually an episode that we can look forward to because diba, yun po yung time na unang-una sila magkikita.
Dun so I make second question dun sa dalawang actors po. Tanong ko lang kung paano nyo kayo naghanda dun sa inyong intimate and kung may bed scene or kissing scene, nag-usap pa kayo or parang physically how do you prepare yourself for that? And hindi ba kayo nailang sa isa't isa? Is this your first time to do it?
Para sa akin po, yung may tiwala po kami sa isa't isa. So, yun po yung build namin na relationship as pagkakaibigan. Yun, parang nawala na rin yung ilang namin sa isa't isa. So, naging komportable na po kami kung ano yung mga eksenang dapat namin gagawin. Basta naman po para sa kakaganda ng eksena po, ginagawa naman po namin yung best namin.
So, sa akin po, yung preparation ko po doon is wala po kaming hindi kami nag-uusap, pero pag nandun na po yung scene, yun po, it's all about professionalism and acting po. Yun. So sa ikagaganda po ng movie, tsaka hindi naman po kami pwedeng kasi pag binago namin yung isang doon, yung isang kahit maliit na part, hindi na maganda yung pwedeng kalabasan. May chance po na ganun. Kasi yung story, kasi kailangan namin sundin para mas maramdaman ng tao yung pinapanood nila, mas makarelate sila. Yung chemistry din namin, yung connection namin is na-build din dun nung pag magkasama kami dun sa hotel din, nag-script reading, tsaka personal kwentuhan, mga ganun po, yung mga about sa personal life. Hanggang yun po, na nagkaroon na kami ng tiwala sa isa't isa at na-build na po yung namin.
Is this your first time to do it? Parang kiss with the same guy? Parang ganun ba?
Sa kissing scene po, pwede po nating abangan kasi hindi po namin pwede po nating abangan yan. It's a secret for now. Mabangan niyo po, panoorin niyo po para malaman po.
Okay. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you po.
Bobby Requintina of Manila Bulletin. Please come in. Bobby?
Baka nakamute po siya.
Baka nakamute si Bobby. Oh. Si Natalie Tomada of the Philippine Star Entertainment. Natalie, I have a question.
Hi, clear ako.
Hello.
Hi, Direk Adolf. My question is for you. Yung story, yung inspiration ba, ano siya, news article or was it...
I read it po online. I think it's a news article, pero hindi lang po ako sure if it was featured also in an actual news program. But I read it online. Pandemic nga, there's this woman was cleaning her house. And then when she was cleaning her house, I think baka kasama po yung ceiling. And then she found those letters in the ceiling. So naalala yun. So nung nabasa ko siya, hindi na po siya naalis sa isip ko. Tapos yun nga, when Gaga Ulala was asking if we can work on something together, sabi ko, why not do yun? Use that time. And then I also did my research, yun nga, and I also found out that there was yun nga, a supermoon in 1974 in early months of this year. So sabi ko, that can be, something that we can work on.
So as you said, so ito yung story na talagang directly inspired by what happened during the pandemic. So how do you think ba direct yung pandemic has changed the type of stories that will be produced onwards?
I think there's really a big change po because of course the physicality of it and then the number of people that you work with and then the protocols that you have to do. We have to do several swabs every time when we stop shooting, and then we have to resume our shoot, then we have to do the swab test and then distancing on the set and sanitation and all. But more importantly po siguro as content creators, yung sabi nila it's a cliche to say, but sabi nga nila art flourishes during the time of limitations, diba? Because sometimes you have to think of a way wherein when you do something, even though it's limited, it doesn't look limited when you mount it. Because you designed it in such a way that it fits the mold of the material that you're doing. So, ganun lang din po siguro yung ginawa namin because yun nga, the characters, one is experiencing being heartbroken in the time of pandemic. So, he's just alone in their vacation house. And then the other one, who was in 1974, was asked by his dad to be grounded at home because the dad who's a military found out that he was in a relationship with someone. So pareho po ng circumstance that they were trapped in their own rooms. So that setup helped us propel the story to something that would be maybe a love story or a shared connection between the two of them. So we designed it in such a way na kahit ganun po, yun nga, it fits the mold of the story.
Last question. How about the themes, Direk? Mas magiging positive ba, hopeful, mas medyo love story ba? Yung mga stories.
Medyo kasi oo nga po eh. Medyo ako po kasi ako po mas fan ako ng mga open-ended stories because of course they are from different time zones. In reality, it's really difficult for them to, because one lives 1974 and 20 years of 40 years of difference. So ang hirap, 'di ba po? So but I think that's the magic of love, which you have to find out how they were able to solve that time difference. If one moved to the other time zone or the other one moved to the other time zone or maybe one way or the other they met. So yun po yung magic ng love, 'di ba? Minsan may matagal, minsan may in a span of time natapos agad. So I think that's the magic of it.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
May tanong si Tapilar ata. Ito. Tapilar, basahin ko na lang po. How truthful are you to the story that you got direct? Did you have the chance to talk to the one who was the source of the story? Yung story kasi Tita Pilar I just read. Tapos medyo, it's a different kasi it's about this girl na nabasa yung sulat nung from Agay. So ang take-off point lang naman po Tita Pilar was that particular instance na nakuha niya yung stud, nakuha niya yung letter sa ceiling. So hindi po kami nakapag-usap, but yung idea lang po, that certain circumstance na nakuha niya yung sulat at nabasa niya yung love letter na unrequited love pala. So parang ganun lang din po yung parang take-off point ng story namin kasi nung umuwi nga sa probinsya, when the character of Wade decided to reel from his heartbreak and goes to the province to take time for himself and clean the house because 'di ba marami nung quarantine naglinis ng houses nila because of Marie Kondo rin, 'di ba, yung you clean the house and you remove things that doesn't matter to you anymore. So parang ganon silang dalawang magnanay because the mother also played by Rosana Roses also was left by her live-in partner. So pareho silang heartbroken. So ginawa nila dun sa vacation house, naglinis sila nung house. And that's when Wade found out about the letters. So yun. So ganun lang po yung take-off point. But then it's an
Marinelle, you can come in now.
Hello, can you hear me clearly?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Ayun. Hi, Direk. Hi, guys. Ayun. Yung question ko muna is for Direk Adolf. Direk, yung can you share with us your casting process? Anong nahanap mo or anong nakita mo sa dalawang lead actors mo that made you say yes to casting them, to giving them those very important roles?
Actually, kasi nga, siyempre in the time of pandemic, nag-try din kami different ways. Yung una was to, of course, to get yung support cast. Binuo ko muna yung support cast but relatively it's quite easy because ang difficulty lang namin was how easy it is for them to go to the set. Kasi nga, like si Tito Bembol, but when na-lift, diba, I think there was a time na ni-lift yung age limit. Parang tinaas nila dati, if you're 60 and above, you cannot go out. But later on, parang they were...
Now 65.
Yan. So, si Tito Bembol yata, siyempre older siya than 65. Pero dahil pinaswab namin siya and all, so yun. At saka daytime lang yung shoot niya. So, pumayag naman siya. So, yun yung una. Binuo ko muna I started assembling the support cast first because I wanted to know lang kung who's who and who's available. And then after that, yun nga, I did several auditions. Yung una was, si Kiko was one of those who auditioned for the parts. Of course, online. So parang every time we got those interested, we sent feelers to different people na we know and we worked together in the past, casting people, ganyan. So nag-send sila sa amin ng profiles or tapos pag medyo interesting, kasi ako, like in the past, when I also did my films from before, if it's someone new, ang tinitingnan ko lang naman yung level of emotion tsaka eyes. Kasi lagi ko tinatandaan lang yung nabasa ko dati na syempre acting is always kung ano yung nasa mata, di ba? So mahirap dayain, you can do the lines but the eyes cannot lie. So yun lang siguro, tinitingnan ko rin sa kanilang dalawa. Si Giovanni naman I worked with before. So parang tinry din namin siya. So he also nung nakausap namin yung manager niya, And then yun nga, nag-breed sila together. So I looked for Wade first, yung character ni Wade. So nung na-finalize namin yung choice for Wade, that's when we tried to pair him up kasi nga dahil love story, di ba? Syempre may chemistry yan kahit hindi sila nakikita. So we tried to pair him up with different readings hanggang si Giovanni nag-read din silang dalawa nga. Tapos nung okay na, syempre yung another round, tinry namin mag-workshop sila together para makita namin kung may chemistry sila or wala. So yun, ganun yung naging basehan. Tapos finally, when si Angeli naman, I also asked Angeli's opinion nung nag-workshop kami kung how is it, you know, they're correct.
Direk, I was hoping you'd share with us yung parang may light bulb moment ka ba na, oh wow, ito sila, perfect sila together. Ano yung, meron ka bang parang nakita na
of course, chemistry, Marinel yung tinitignan ko lang eh. Like, hindi naman light bulb moment, pero parang nung nakita ko sila, nakita ko sila separately, I was looking, kasi yung character nila pareho is both lonely. So, crucial lang sa akin na, of course, hindi naman siya teleserye. So, since it's lalaki, again, lalaki pa rin yung characters, diba? They can be emotional, but yung level ng emotionality nila importante. Diba? Yung kung iiyak ka, eto yung intensity nun, yung pinakaiyak mo, at saka yung tinikimkim mo na iyak. So, yun lang yung scenes na pinili namin from Jerry's, yung script namin dati na muli nga, because si Jerry rin nang nagsulat nun. So, sabi ko, Jerry, kuha tayo ng parts doon para, yun yung basihan, yung may eksena doon na talagang si Kogi yata at saka si Sid is very emotional. Meron din eksena na parang rom-com. So, yun yung pinagbasihan namin. Tinignan namin yung chemistry. So, nung sa mata lang ako talaga, I think yun yung importante sa akin. Pag nakita mo sa mata ng artista na nagsasabi sila ng totoo in terms of emotion, yun yung madali. Tapos second na nga, nung pinagsama namin sila, nakita ko na may chemistry sila together. Kasi syempre, kahit pareho silang magaling, kung hindi ka naman, wala silang chemistry, syempre wala din, hindi rin siya mag-work. So that's why we did several readings with other actors too. So hanggang yun, napag-match namin silang dalawa na pwede kasi may semblance of a chemistry. Pero syempre, try pa rin yun kasi online, di ba? Iba pa rin yung magkaharap silang dalawa. So again, syempre nagdadasal ka, may tulong na rin yun na magdasal ka na sana pag nagharap sila, may chemistry talaga. So nung nag-swab test kami, kaya sabi ko, let's try muna before we start shooting, a day before, nung nagsiset up ako ng location, pinapunta namin sila, sabi ko, kunyari magpipictorial kami. Sabi ko, so mag-pictorial kami. So habang nagpi-pictorial sila, tinitingnan ko na kung meron silang physical chemistry together. So sabi ko, pag wala, sana, ang joke ko sa kanila nun, sabi ko, naku, may isa pong nag-positive, so kailangan po umuwi. Sabi ko sa kanila, yun yung binibiro ko yung isa sa kanila. Under the guise na sabi ko kay binibiro ko si Jerry, naku Jerry, pag walang chemistry, kunyari may positive sa kanila, ganun ba yun? So nagtatawanan kami. Pero hopefully, maganda naman yung kinalabasan nung nag-exercise, na nagpipictorial kami, tapos may mga pinapagawa ko sa kanila na subtle way on, hindi nila siguro alam na yun na yung parang pag-testing ko nung chemistry nila. So okay naman. So nung gabi na yun, nakapag-check-in naman sila kasi di ba magkasama sila sa room?
Yes, sa room.
Pareho sila negative, so magkasama sila sa room, so natuloy-tuloy naman.
Direct last 2 questions na lang. So, yun nga, pero maganda yun may tip dun sa mga mag-audition na sa mata. Okay, sa production process naman, so 2 sets, magkaiba kasi period, di ba? Parang 1970s. Ay, tama ba?
Yes, 1974.
Oo. Tapos present. Paano yung naman sa production? So, 2 different sets. Effort ba?
So, medyo effort. Although, siyempre, karamihan interior scene sa room. So, ginawa namin, naghanap kami ng location na medyo parang equal yung 2 rooms. Kasi nga gusto ko sanang style. Parang it looks like magkatabi sila ng room. Pero, siyempre, magkaibang panahon. So, we had to design the entire room. Although sinetup yun kasi nga less number of people, di ba? So yung during the setup, nagpapasalamat ako syempre dun sa mga tao, yung art department namin na nakatrabaho ko in the past. So a day before, I designed all of the kailangan, props and all. Tapos a day before the shoot, maghapon, yun nga, sinetup namin lahat yun. Because during the shoot, wala na sila. Ako na lang at saka may 2 kaming parang setman at saka syempre sila rin yung umahawak ng ilaw. So kami na nag-adjust. So pinrocure lang namin lahat. Mahirap i-design kasi parang pag nakita nyo yung left side at saka right side, so ginawa namin ganun. So parang lumang room yung left. So minsan sabay namin sinushoot. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, parang may mirror scenes, ganyan. So yun yung medyo mahirap. But syempre, para rin may konting excitement yung pag-shoot mo, di ba? Para may konting challenge din habang nag-shoot ka. So yun, sinet up namin yun in that house. Kasi parang idea, one house sila nakatira, parang multiverse. So nag-exist into different houses pero magkaibang sala, magkaibang ganyan. Medyo tricky siya kasi yung unlock nun, syempre sa houses lang namin, houses ng mga ibang staff ko para safe. So ngayon pa, dahil lock-in, ngayon lang ako nag-lock-in. So yun, medyo mahirap. Pero,
parang I guess yun din yung nagsiset apart ng BL mo na to sa ibang BL projects kasi 'di ba may effort ka na ganyan period. Okay, yun naman yung last question ko naman. Kasi yung happenstance, para siyang romantic way to say na say the word coincidence. Parang yun yung meaning, 'di ba? Parang dun sa dalawang actors natin, do you believe in yun nga coincidence lang ang mga nangyayari or talagang merong great may bigger plan for everything? Anong opinion ninyo?
Para sa akin po, naniniwala ako doon kasi lahat naman tayo may nakalaan na isang tao na makakatuluyan natin ang panghabang buhay. Ayan po. So ako po naniniwala ako doon kasi parang fantasy, parang gano'n po. Ikaw po.
Sa akin yung may pagka-reality din naman yung mga gonna happen for an instance. Kasi nga sa buhay natin, maraming tao magdadaan pero hindi mo yung isang bagay pa na hindi mo inaasahan yun yung mapupunta sa'yo at makakatuluyan mo. So, minsan yung mga bagay na yun hindi din sinasadya, yung bigla na lang mangyayari. Tapos magugulat ka na yun na pala yun, di ba? So, that's why happenstance yung dun sa
Okay, direct baka pasagot na rin yung question. Pati ikaw na rin.
Siguro oo. Kasi di ba parang sabi nga nila, it's being at the right place at the right time. So happenstance, it happens, and by circumstance. So yun yung, kaya na naghahanap din ako ng title, parang nabasa ko 19th century words, so na parang ibig sabihin something that happens with circumstance, kaya happenstance. So siguro yun. May mga bagay kasi di ba minsan, like, kasi ang tagal ko ring director ng Wagas, yung sa GMA News TV. Na lahat ng klase ng love stories na daanan namin for 6 years. So habang ginagawa ko yun, dun ko na-realize na sometimes yung love talaga, you cannot control it eh. Sometimes it just happens na minsan akala mo ito na pero meron palang dadating. So it's a product of chance and you also have to work it out, 'di ba? Pag di mo pwedeng iasa mo rin sa chance. So yun yung kaya ganun.
Ganda. Last na lang, additional. Meron kasi ako naalala, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock na movie.
House at saka Ilmare.
House, yeah. Napanood mo ba yun? Na-inspire ka din ba doon? Nagka-idea ka ba because of that film?
Napanood ko siya dati pa. Actually, hindi ko na siya ulit pinanood kasi nga, syempre, di ba, para maiba. Alam ko naman na yung, syempre, nag-exchange sila ng sulat. Actually, remake yun, di ba, ng Ilmare, binanggit nga ni Kuya Jerry kanina. Yun ang napanood ko noon, yung Ilmari na parang may mailbox na kung saan sila nagpapalitan ng sulat. Yung sa amin, start lang siya, yung pagpapalitan nila ng sulat because yun nga, by 12 o'clock na-discover nila na sa panahon ng pagbukas ng supermoon, dahil one cycle siya in 30 days, di ba? Bukas yan hanggang magpalit ng cycle. Nakakapag-usap sila ng 12 o'clock sa salamin. So, kumbaga take-off point lang na nakapag-usap sila sa sulat but in the preceding sequences, nag-uusap na sila sa salamin. So, yun. Ganun lang na iba. Na-introduce lang siya noon. Kasi nga gusto ko talaga lang yung idea na nakuha yung sulat sa ceiling. Kasi nga in the time of pandemic, di ba? So, habang naglilinis ka, totoo yung sitwasyon. So, but after that, naging magical na siya because yun nga, nadagdagan na nung idea ng supermoon. At saka kasi merong belief noon, hindi ko alam kung familiar po kayo, may folktale si Libulan at saka si Sidapa. I think yun yung unang gay love story na folktale na parang na-in love yung God of Death dun sa isa sa 7 moons. So, nung na-in love siya dun sa isa dun sa 7 moons, niligawan niya yon. Tapos nainggit sa kanya yung nakalimutan, ano nga yung pangalan ng parang Sea Dragon? Bakunawa. Na-inlove, yung Bakunawa, na-inlove din siya. Thank you, Maui. Na-inlove siya sa Bakunawa. Nag-inlove din yung Bakunawa. So, kinain ng Bakunawa yung 6 other moons. Naiwan yung isa kasi pinagtanggol siya ni Sidapa. So, nagkailaban sila, naging sila. So, parang sila yung couple, gay couple na unang-una. So, nung nabasa ko yun, ginamit din namin yun dito sa
Local yun, direct? Or Malay? Filipino yun. Okay.
Libulan at saka si Sidapa. So, kumbaga nagtahi-tahi na siya nung ni-research ko. Yes. Nagtahi-tahi na. Tsaka sabi ko kay Jerry, kapatid, basahin mo to. Sabi niya, ay, oo, alam ko yan. Kasi Ilonggo siya, di ba? So, alam niya yung Visayan legend. Sabi niya, ay, alam ko yan. So, yun, napagtagni-tagni namin na may ganun palang kwento. Tapos may supermoon, nagbukas ng 1974. Tsaka, so, swak yung tahi-tahi ng mga stars. So, yun. So, parang take-off point lang talaga yung letters.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Direk. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Marinel. Ang next natin is si Bobby Requintina. Isa pang naniniwala na ang destiny happens if you are at the right place and at the right time.
Correct ko. Narinig mo na ako, Ricky. Okay na? Okay na sound?
Okay na, okay na.
Ay, salamat naman. Okay. Hi, good evening. Kay Direk, number 1, dumadami na yung BL series. Palagay mo ba, ano ba to? Flash in the pan lang or it's here to stay, yung ang BL series?
So 2 days ago po, I was in a conference sa Out Leadership with other directors. Si Samantha Lee also who does LGBTQ films, tsaka isang Thai director, and we discussed lengthily yung bakit ulit yung BL series during the pandemic. And I think na-realize din namin because of the pandemic, because a lot of people are in their homes, and generally yung BL naman po was in our cycle for the past. Okay. It started in Japan, and then sprouted in other Asian countries like Korea, and then nag-flourish po talaga sa Thailand, I think. But of course, we rediscovered it late last year and then up until early last year because of Together and also some other BL series. And yun nga po, siguro na-realize ng audience because it's also geared towards the female audience. So malakas din po yung following niya because you have two male characters fell in love with each other. So yun yung nabuo namin nung nag-uusap kami na oo nga, yan yung audience because the idea now you also include, diba, yung idea ng inclusivity because gender-wise, now we're more open to you know, to exploring different kinds of stories, be it heterosexual or homosexual stories. And then dahil nga po siguro and diba in the last 2 years nagkaroon din ng issues about gender equality and also yun nga inclusivity. So ngayon, because of that, you explore stories. And dahil po siguro yung BL, which is ideally also a rom-com about two people falling in love, and you know how we Filipinos love the idea of falling in love even in the time of difficulty. So baka dun po siguro shift. And also it's readily available online. So baka rin po siguro, hindi naman, siguro po naniniwala ako na hindi naman po siguro flash in the pan. Baka, it's an ongoing solution. Sabi ko nga, di ba, na-inlove tayo sa Mexican telenovelas, na-inlove tayo sa Korean telenovelas, di ba? So you start with that and later on you evolve to another. Di ba, K-dramas din po, like now, a lot of people are also into K-dramas. So, I think it's an interesting time because na-discover ng tao yung streaming platforms and the power of the internet to, you know, to watch interesting stories other than what's available on free TV.
Okay, last question kay Derek. Derek, to throwback muna. Kung 2006, your movie was sent to the Oscars for, unfortunately, na siya nakasama. Ano ang realization nyo ngayon pagdating sa Oscars? At bakit hirap na hirap ang Pilipinas maka-penetrate ang major categories ng Oscar Awards?
Siguro po because yun na rin exposure ko after nung sa Donsol po siguro noong 2006 because alam ni Ricky yun because Ricky was one of the very key people who helped me produce Donsol. Alam po namin na yung entire cost to produce Donsol was very difficult kasi yun na rin po yung kapraso, siguro 1/4 lang yun ng budget for marketing for the Oscars. So mahirap po talaga siya. I think ang problema po siguro is siguro kailangan natin din ng tulong ng iba-ibang sectors. send a film to the Oscars, that doesn't necessarily, hindi lang po kailangan na maganda siyang pelikula. Second is you have to market it and to get a distributor to push it because you're up against big films with distributors. At saka siguro rin po, yung exposure ng pelikula, importante rin po siguro. Kasi like if it premieres in a good festival and you get word of mouth and then you get picked up by a distributor, helps you promote it. So, mahaba po siya. But I think now, alam naman po yun, with FDCP who's helping every Filipino film in their own capacity, especially films that are going outside the country. Baka po, kunti. Pero sana po dumating na yung panahon. Lahat naman tayo gusto natin din sana isa yung Philippines sa nominees.
Okay, thank you, Direk. Good luck to the cast and thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Bobby. Direk Adolf, may question si Leo bukas.
Sige po.
Na nahihiya daw siyang magtanong.
Bukas.
Sabi, bakit karamihan ng mga BL series ang mga baguhan ang kadalasang nagbibida? Let me know your thoughts.
Ako, Sir Leo, ano naman po siya eh. Parang sa akin, incidental, hindi naman po ko rin inisip na parang for Happenstance, for example, na kailangan bida ay bago. When we were doing our castings, of course, a lot of actors now are also doing a lot of BL. A lot of our actors a lot of our mainstream actors also and those doing so syempre kailangan nyo rin pong timplahin. So nung naisip namin na because we have a very good supporting cast naman and they can help new actors. And of course, syempre po bilang director din tsaka syempre minsan din po 'di ba gusto nyo rin ng iba naman or ibig sabihin magbigay din ng chance for new people to enter the industry. I think it's also a good time as long as they are willing to be trained. So yun lang po kaya naisip ko na sige because it's also been a while na sumugal din ako for new actors. I think sobrang tagal na po. I think it was still in I think it was still in yung totally bago po. Kadin pa yun, which was my film for Cinemalaya in 2007 na taga Batanes po talaga yung gumanap. Si Mikoy kasi his first film was 4 Days pero nasa TV na rin naman po siya. Pero yung totally katulad ni Kiko na wala pong acting prior experience, baka 2000 yun, ganun pa po, mga 2007 pa yung huli ko na ganun. So naisip ko rin na baka I think ma-discover mo rin in the time na maghanap ng bago. There's just this question lang po from Juliana of BL Mexico. There are more and more international BL fans and more in Latin America. I would like to know what's your opinion about the BL series reaching so far. I think like any other content, I think the idea is like what I have been saying with when you do films, it has to be culturally specific but the theme is very universal. So I think that's why a lot of materials that are coming not only in the Philippines but also in other parts of the world are connecting with audiences because they may happen in the Philippines but the emotions and the characters are also people that they can encounter in their own countries. So I think that's why it is very popular not only in the Philippines but also in your part of the world because emotions are very universal. So when you feel pain or you feel too happy, it's the same whether you're in the Philippines or you're in Latin America.
Thank you, Juliana. Julia, it's 6 o'clock in the morning in Mexico.
I know. Thank you very much for waking so early to be with us. If you still have questions po, we'll just entertain siguro po mga last 3 before we end this. Again, thank you very much po to everyone who joined us tonight for this one. I know Gaga Olala is very happy. We will give you more details but we'll hopefully start airing by end of this month or first week of December. We're just fixing our timetables po. But definitely it would air not later than first week of December.
Direct, may konti lang akong clarificatory questions.
Sige po, Kuya Jen.
May part ba na pandemic yung story? Kumbaga,
Yes po.
matatakal ba?
Yes po.
Okay.
Kuya Jerry, it opens up before the pandemic and then kasi March po nagkaroon ng supermoon. So sakto po ECQ. I think we're going to tackle the first part, yung March 15 declaration of the ECQ where everybody cannot go out for 1 month.
Another question yung the characters of Giovanni and Kiko, are they straight, fluid, pansexual, or what?
I think they're they're gay.
Okay.
Okay, because they both have partners po coming in the start of the story. One one fell in love with someone that they cannot be together. The other one has just got heartbroken. So I think both characters are gay.
Mas magastos ba ito ngayon, direct? Itong, kumbaga, series na to, compare sa... Saka, isa ko pang question kay Giovanni. Singer ba siya? Si Giovanni, singer?
Opo, dati po may boy group po ako.
So, I see. Sako, parang naalala ko kayo nung brother mo, kumakanta-kanta kayo eh.
Yes po, yes po.
Okay.
Pero ngayon, mas nag-focus na po ako sa pagiging actor po.
Okay, thank you. Direct, may isa-send na lang ako question for Kiko through Messenger, ha?
Sige po.
Thank you.
Sino pa po ang may question? Sige po. You may on naman po yung mics ninyo. So, meron pa ba po tayo? Meron po ba ako na-miss pa dun sa chat? Sorry po. Meron lang po, me being a reactor to BL series, are you all excited for the fan reactions to this production? Of course, we're very excited because like I've said, it's one of the very few times where we explore something new. It's about, bending time because of love, when two people meet. So we'll try to read all your reactions. It's also of course we're also a little bit nervous because it's quite different. Not only because most of the time they are separate, in different timelines, but we'll try to make a way for them to excite the audience. May questions pa po kayo? Andyan po si Mikoy, baka may tanong kayo kay Mikoy. Ginawa po niya yung kanta especially for this year.
For the two boys, may nagpapatanong din na after this big breakthrough roles na ibinigay at pinagkatiwala sa inyo, does that mean that for your next projects and next roles, you will be more daring and you will show more in terms of talent and or otherwise? May nagpapatanong. Thank you.
We will see. It depende po sa movie and story. Kung kaya naman po, kaya ko sabi, in terms of experience and professionalism. Yun po. Pero yung mga bagay na siguro yung personal po tayo, ako or siya, baka hindi po natin magawa yung sobrang daring na or yung kung ano lang po yung kaya ng natin. Kasi it's a challenge din po sa amin yan yung mga ganong klaseng bagay in terms of acting.
Ako naman po, kung ano po yung ibigay sa akin na proyekto, tinatanggap ko naman po. Basta maalam ko po mabuti kung ano yung istorya, kung sino po yung mga katrabaho ko. Siyempre, parang sa akin nakausap ko naman po yung handler ko kung dapat namin gawin ko. Siyempre, nag-uusap kami ng Marinsina bago ko gawin yung proyekto. Kung kaya ko po, ayun po, doon ko po kasi binabase kung kakayanin ko po. Siyempre, kaya ko naman pong gawin yung ng bagay na napipilitan ako. Gusto ko, ginagawa ko dahil gusto ko. Yan po. Narinig niyo po.
Thank you. Adolf, there's a follow-up question from G. Trilliana. Do you have any among the established actors, who would you want to cast next in your BL series?
Ricky, kasi alam mo naman yung process ko pag bihira yung mauna yung artista, except for some very few instances in some of my films. But if we have the story, we read the material first, and then that's when we decide who to cast, be it an established actor or someone new. So if I have the material, that's only when I decide when. Pero syempre, ang daming artista rin na you would want to see in something like this. Pero syempre, since it's a BL series and particular, ako alam mo Ricky, I always wanted also to do something na like for example, older, because you know how much I love working with veteran actors. So like for example, doing hindi naman BL, GL. like a GL series, for example, with like for example lang at the top of my head, like a GL series with, for example, si Hilda Coronel and Jacqueline Jose, for example, or kasi ang dami ring issues nung age nila, like what happens when you're at that certain age and someone is ang rich din nung ganung sitwasyon. So I think that would also be very interesting then for me, like to get or even si Ate Guy with someone like si Hilda rin, or someone nga sila Miss Jane, si Direk Gina, 'di ba? Or si Tita Oro, or si Ma'am Charo, 'di ba? Or si Ate V. So I mean, depende dun sa material, but it's also interesting to know yung ganong relationship at that point in time. Interested din ako dun kasi 'di ba, iba rin yung level of maturity na madadala nila at saka nung characters nila. Yun. So, ayun. Last na lang po. Ito, last question. Do you consider, si Miss Tessa po, do you consider doing BL series an advocacy? I think po siguro as content creators and storytellers, meron ka namang theme, katulad nga nun. So sometimes it's not, it just comes out. Minsan po kasi pag nauna rin yung advocacy, minsan baka maging hard sell. So I think with the material and when you develop it further with your co-creator, with your writers and part of the creative team, the theme will come out. So madidiscuss nyo rin naman yun further in your so and then it becomes part of the advocacy of your material. Syempre naman po, sana lahat ng ginagawa nyo material hindi lang dahil uso or hindi dahil yun ang napapanahon, pero kung di meron din po kayong gustong sabihin, because again, yung paggawa ng pelikula, it's di ba po, or something, it's a recorder of time. So later on, 10 years from now, when everything hopefully is well, balikan natin lahat ng mga nagawa natin ng pandemic at naisip natin na in this challenging times, we were able to do something not only because we need work, but because we also want to share stories that happened during the pandemic for people in the future generations. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you.
Maraming salamat. We would like to thank everyone po for joining us tonight for this cast reveal. Again, we'd like to thank Gaga Ulala for supporting us, Sir Jaylin, and Jaime Nicolas of Gaga Ulala. And then we also greet them Happy Pride because they're celebrating now in Taiwan. They're in the streets marching and doing some celebrations. Thank you for supporting Happenstance, and also to all of you who are here, from the local press to the foreign press who joined us tonight. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, especially to those who are in another time zones who wake up so early to be with us. Thank you. And of course, thank you, Mikoy, for joining us tonight, for doing that beautiful song. We'll launch the music video by next week, so you can hear the song, and it's going to be available also on Spotify. And then we're going to to have our major launch with the other actors of the cast, the entire cast, also online on Zoom conversation soon. Again, thank you po sa inyong lahat. Thank you everyone also who tuned in online.
Gusto ko magpasalamat muna kay Direk sa pagbigay ng opportunity para sa project na to, and sa mga nakasama ko po na sa trabaho, like mga co-actors ko, sa crew. Congrats po sa atin na natapos natin ng maayos at nagawa natin yung mga dapat natin gawin. Ayun po. Sana po supportahan niyo kami pag pinalabas na po itong series project namin na Happenstance. Ayun po. Gusto ko rin po magpa-thank you sa family ko, sa mga kaibigan ko na sumusuporta sa akin, sa Jubanatics. Ayun po. So, thank you sa panonood nitong live. Ayun.
So yun sa akin, una sa lahat, thank you kay Lord na binigyan ako ng opportunity to act first time. So nakasama ko sila ng first time. Sobrang bait yung binigay sa akin na team and director. Sobrang dami ko natutunan. Pangalawa po is yung family ko na sumuporta po sa akin since nung una pa lang. And then yung sila po yung una, si Direk, tsaka po yung staff, yung team namin. Actually, hindi staff or direct yung tawag sa akin. Parang family po kasi yung bonding namin dito. So, parang naglalaro ka lang at the same time nagtatrabaho ka. So, hindi ko napapansin na nag-work ako kasi sobrang enjoy. Tsaka, ang dami ko nagiging na experience tsaka knowledge sa kanila. Na mas may eagerness pa or may willing na meron pang mag-act ng bagong role or makipagtrabaho kay Direk kung kukuhanin niyo pa ako. Yan. Tsaka, ayun, sobrang saya. Tsaka dun sa mga sumusuporta online, maraming salamat po. Sana magustuhan niyo po yung series namin. At hindi, patikim pa lang po yan. Natabangan niyo po yung iba na ilalabas or mga susunod kung anuman.
So again, thank you po everyone. I hope you support Happenstance soon. It's coming out on Gaga Ulala. Thank you everyone who joined us tonight or today in some countries. And we hope to see you soon again. Stay safe everyone. And God bless us all. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Thank you po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you.
Tapos we will